Welcome back to episode 34 of Retrospective Progression. I'm Aredawg, the creator hero, and today, I actually did work over here in the Dwarven Mountain. Let's go check that out. So this is the work that we did last time before we got into this version here. So this is all done in 1.2. But over here, as you can kind of see, I missed a spot. I'll get that later. As you can see, though, I did work on getting this side done. I'm not sure how I'm going to connect these together just yet. Obviously, I want to go up a little bit more here, but I'll have to have these connected so that way there's this nice archway over here. I was thinking the next steps that I want to do will probably be this cavern right in here. At least get the dirt set up for the cavern so I can eventually do the different blocks that I'm going to be using inside. Don't know what I'm going to use on the inside just yet. Might be stone. If I get to andesite and diorite and maybe have some of that in there as well. The doors, I think, might be a good thing to work on. This one is angled and this one is not, but I think I kind of want to have the top of these doors kind of figured out, and then I have these hinge portions right here and right here that these doors are swinging off of, so I probably think I want to get that one done next. So if I do anything in here next, I think it's going to be these two things. So the further we get along here, again, the more shaped this is. Not perfectly shaped. Again, if you can see where all of these torches are, that was where I actually had a kind of a line that went up to that, and then I just kind of like put these together where I thought it would look okay. Obviously, there's going to need to be some reshaping when it comes to how this is actually going to look, because things like this are a little weird. You can kind of see it a little bit differently over here. Like this goes down a little bit and then up, but it also goes up and over. You can see it goes up here. Like a lot of weird stuff with it. So need to fix that up. But again, I'm not overly worried about it. I'm just trying to get the main shape, and then we can add in extra things over top of it. I may even have like some buildings kind of out over here just for fun's sake. Because again, I kind of want this to be a mountain the dwarves don't just live in, but they live on. Whereas this location might just be some other, group of people who live. Maybe it's a human settlement lives here next to some grand mage's tower or something, because that's I really need to get back working on that. Anyway, we did do it all the way over to here, so it finally does connect into here. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do the whole thing, but yeah, I was able to get the whole thing done. And how I got all of this dirt, well, let's just say I used the quarry. So let's head back over to the quarry, and I can show you some of the work I've done there. We're at the quarry now, and this hasn't really changed a whole lot, except for this. Actually, where I'm standing on, if we just, I think, if I come over here, I forget where it starts, but I think, is it here? Somewhere around here. Give me a moment. I swear it's over here somewhere. I'm just gonna do this. There it is. Bloop. Yeah. Oh, okay. We can just do this. There we go. Yeah, we'll just leave that. Close that up. But yeah, this right here, I just kind of decided, let's just flatten this out a little bit. I'm gonna leave this under here lit up, because yeah, I don't know what to do with this part right here. And again, this was just too much. trying to figure out what I wanted to do with this portion, so I decided let's do a little bit of terraforming with that. So we'll just close this up. I am thinking of having like a gate of some kind or a fence that kind of comes across this way and then angles this way. So in that way I can differentiate and basically say I'll keep out for the quarry because, you know, dangerous quarry stuff going on. The other question I had, and as I was thinking about this more, pink sheep. I don't know if this is the first time there's been a pink sheep in this world, but that is a naturally spawned pink sheep. I can't remember if this is the first time we've seen something like you here. One second, let me see if I can fence it in and maybe we can keep it. Give me a moment. Gotta be quick. Because unfortunately, some of these creatures don't stay. And I don't think... I think it's... the recipe is still this. Yes, okay. Okay, 12 should do it, I think. So let's see if we can capture that sheep and just keep it from moving too much. Because if it moves too far... Okay, there you are. There is a chance that it can despawn, and I think if you block in an animal... Oh, this is not going to go well. It's moving too fast. Oh, no. Are these the same speed? I don't think I'm going to be able to save that pink sheep. Because, yeah, they don't breed just yet. So, without the breeding, I can't just, you know, keep them safe by using the... There you are. Okay. We need this sheep to... Okay, here. No, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do... Okay, you... Let's do that. Okay, now we'll just push you in there. Okay. Now, he should be trapped enough. I'm just going to do this for safety's sake. I'm going to just put that there. So, I hope this sheep will stay here, but I doubt that it will. This is kind of right now just a test. Because if I was to leave the area, I think it would be unloaded. Alright, we're going to test this. So yeah, we'll do a test of like getting to the point where he should be unloaded, which is 128 blocks out. But I can show you some of the work I've done here. I did fill this portion in. It's not all the way filled in. Like, again, I just made it into grass and such, but there's a lot of wolves that are going to be out here. That's a lot of wolves. If you come over to this direction, there is some way that you can get into it over here. And yeah, I left all of this kind of just at least a 2-block high. So the other work I've done here is I started taking down this mountain right here. Well, it's more like a weird little peninsula thing. I want to get this whole peninsula down and kind of more smooth and straightened out. So in that way I can have a better, like, location for ships to come in. Obviously, right now I'm just going to be doing the water. But once I have aqua affinity and such, I'm going to start tearing down some of this. But as I was digging this down, I did notice that there was something fun below here. That, as you just saw, is a zombie spawner. I heard a bunch of zombies as I was in here, and I just wanted to get down here and take these guys out and actually check out the loot with you actually on camera. So let's see what we got. Got some gunpowder, got a bucket, some redstone, and bread. And then more bread, more buckets, which buckets don't stack. Some string and some wheat. Well, let's just take this stuff with us. And there's an empty cave noise. So yeah, I'm just trying to dig this down, get this to be a good straight shot, so that way we can just have this be a nice location for the boats. I will have to clean this one up because I'm going to need the boats to come in this direction and then go out in that direction. But that shouldn't take too long to do, I wouldn't think. And then I can also set up our little depot here, and we'll have the train come this direction, over there, and back over here. So let's go check and see if that pink sheep stayed or not. And if it didn't, oh well, that's perfectly fine. Almond of truth. Let's see, is there a sheep in here? Nope. Let me tear this down. Like it never happened. Because it didn't. The only other thing I want to do out here at the quarry is I kind of want to figure out if I want to have this be here or not. Like, do I want to have a crane, or do I want to do what I'm doing over here, which is another lift, and essentially have this kind of churn into here, go into a lift, fall into my hurt myself, lift up to here, and then just go up into this direction. Like, I don't know if a crane is better, because if I'm going to be honest, they probably wouldn't want to use a crane to pick up this item right here, or this cart, and swing it over here where people might be walking up and down to get into the mines and have it fall on them. It might just be easier to do a lift. So I'm going to have to do some redesigning here, and I think that might just make it much nicer, and maybe just do a nice casual like turn here. So in that way we can do a couple turns here, like turn here, do a little bit of a lift here like we have over here, and yeah, call it a good day. I may just do that and maybe use a crane out over in the docks, because that makes more sense. You're basically taking the ore and you're just kind of putting it onto a boat. But I'm not going to do that here, so we're just going to do a quick little spin. And just like that, we are back at the Growlie Challenge Island. I need to work on another hub. While that spin took just like a second for you, I had to walk through the nether, and yeah, I realized I need to make that better. So I'm going to pop in here and do a little bit of digging. Because yeah, I said I was going to dig into this next time, or this time, and I am going to try and figure out how I'm going to have this music cycle loop while that is active. So I'll show you once I got this dug. As it becomes nighttime here, I am actually coming back to our starter house to put down a bed to remain in here. And there's a second reason why I'm here. That second reason being, I'm going to put something on our Hall of Firsts. So we're going to start by getting ourselves some sticks. We're going to make another redstone torch because you need 2 of them. And then we're going to take this stone here. We're going to put this over here. And we're going to put that there. And it's our first redstone repeater. We're not going to put that down just yet. Because, oops. Yeah, let's make it faster. We're just going to go down into our hollow firsts. And we're going to drop this redstone repeater right there. Yay. All right, so we're going to close that up. Thank you. We're going to make a couple more. Let's just do 2 more of these. So you need 2 redstone torches, a redstone dust, and 3 stone to make a redstone repeater. So I'm going to do a little quick intro here as to the repeater. Repeaters can only be put on a full block. As you can see, if you try to put it on a half block, it doesn't work. This repeater right here has a simple function. Obviously, if you played Minecraft before, you know that there's generally 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 tick, 4 tick. You can change how many ticks you have for it. You can also add on... Oh yeah, that's right. This version did have a different change of how redstone looked when it was lit or unlit. So if we just do one of these, you can see very quick. But if we were to say pull that off and pop that on, you see that there's a little bit of a delay from that getting on. So that is how we're going to be doing our note blocks. We're going to be using delay for that. So I've got this bunch of this stuff here. Let's head back over there. I'm halfway through digging through that, and once we get back there, you'll see that it's fully dug. I've dug a little bit more room here. I hope I have enough. Want to try and keep underneath the carousel, which is right above here. And I'm not sure if this is the room size that I want to go with for this, but worst I could do is like dig this portion out. What I need to have is, for this, I need to have an output of right here and an input of right here. Because I'm thinking that we're going to be winding this around like so, kind of snaking back and forth. And because I have 2 instruments, I'm going to do 2 levels. We're going to have the main melody on the top line and the bass line down here. So the bass line might be a little quieter as we kind of snake around here. But essentially, I do want this to eventually kind of come around back to this way, and then we'll loop it right here. So this should be like where our main... I guess the best way to put it is that where we're gonna say this is where we're gonna restart. So to start off, let's see here. So starting off, we want to use what's called an AND gate, which means we're gonna have to have this come here. And I'm gonna need... Give me a second. Let me go grab some more stuff. Okay, we got our torches here. Let's go get more redstone. And so we'll have... This is one of the AND gates right here. We're going to need it to come across like so. And that should allow us to have that. Okay, I believe this AND gate will work. So let's do a little bit of a test on that. If I was to do this and do that, oh, one more. Let's go go ahead and do... Ah, there's not enough room here, but that's the whole point. It's supposed to be something rather quick. So if we had this like so, that turns it off, and okay, that means, do I want an AND gate or do I want a NOR gate? Or NAND gate? Simply because if we have this here... Sorry, I'm logically trying to think this out. This needs to be the start of our redstone, and I need this to come off both directions here. One that goes this direction into our upper portion. Oop, can't go down this way. The melody line, and then this one comes down into the bass line. So let's just take this stuff out. And we're going to need to leverage... Ooh, we're going to need to leverage this. Because that needs to go right into there. If we did this, that should be fine. We'll have this go up here. This goes directly into there. And we just need one of these things to have a complete cycle. If we had both of them do a complete cycle, I mean, it may be that I didn't time it correctly. And that would not be good. So I think we would want to have this come from down below. So we want the baseline to be the circle. And then we can cover this because we don't need to worry about that. Do this. Ooh. That's going to hit that torch. No, even if I did this, it would... No, okay. And that should work. Sure, this one gets lit. Fun stuff with redstone. Let's do this right now. Let's see what happens. There's so much going on here. We're gonna want to just stop that from doing that. If we did that, that does turn off. Yes, I hear you, spooky cave noise. That does turn that back on, but the question is it being lit because of this? Because, I mean, that's kind of quasi-lit, and I fell again. Okay, if we did that turns that off. Okay, that's fine. So that gets turned off. Yeah, let's do a little bit of a test with this. So we have our output here. We're kind of gonna do like a little bit of a loop here and have it do that essentially. Actually, I wonder. Haha. Okay, we need that. That burnt out this torch, so we'd have to replace that torch again. Oh, because we don't have repeaters on there to make it not as fast. which makes sense. Let's get some repeaters. Oh wait, we got repeaters here. Let's just do this. Oh wait, yeah, we have to do it this way. Because you have to turn into the... You have to turn into the repeaters. You can't just... Okay, so yeah, we... still too fast. Okay. Now, if I was to do this, come up here and flick that lever. This keeps it on. And then if I turn this lever off, what happens? Does it continue cycling or... Okay. Yeah, that should work. It's really clunky, really strange to do this way, but I think this will work. So we'll start off by having... We'll start off by doing this, and then we'll have the actual song start about right here. So we'll have this turn. We'll have to have this turn into here, so we can put it into the repeater. And then once we have that into the repeater there, go get our note block. Let's see, I think we're gonna do... I forget what we use for these. I think we just use dirt. And then let's get some note blocks. And then we just put that there. And there we go. So that will do that. And then if we... Yeah, if we had this kind of go off in the same direction here, this area should be big enough. And then we come here and we go ahead and we turn this off. It stops the music, or at least it should allow it to continue through the loop of the song. And then once the song is done, it'll stop it if it's not there. But as long as this is going, we keep this loop going around, and it should be exactly how we're thinking that it would work. So the thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to cover this portion up all the way and hope that I have enough room to use dirt and the note blocks here, and then I'm going to use wood down here and note blocks to create the baseline. And yeah, that should be this project done. It might take me a couple of episodes, so we might get done with this one fairly shortly. We'll have to see. Yeah. So as I'm going to start working on this, there was a thought that I did have that if this is going, and maybe this is something I can look into in the future, if this is going and we have, like, this is basically, there's no light coming in just here because it's going through the big loop, and this one gets a power to it, it's gonna do an and push it through once again. So I may need to figure out some protection on that end, where if this is lit and this is lit, it needs to be an OR gate whether or not this gets lit. And if they're both lit up, then it's going to stop. That might make this a little bit more complex, and I might just pop it through here to do that. But, you know, redstone, it's it's a beast. But yeah, I'm hopeful I'll be able to get at least the music portion done here. Maybe play around with that circuit right there. Maybe make it a little bit nicer and neater, better. But yeah, with that, I want to say thanks for coming along with episode 34 of Retrospective Progression. If you like the video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. Later.